All right, here we go. What's up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dudes and dudettes? Welcome back to your potentially favorite Nigerian podcast. Bear with me, your host, General Prime. And when I say bear with me, I actually mean bear with me because I've been on like a 2 week hiatus because I've been so I've been so busy, like I've been so excruciatingly busy looking for a new apartment. The apartment I'm currently staying at um needs to be renovated, and so everyone in the apartment just we got told that we need to like leave the entire like fucking apartment. And so I've just been hunting, and I'm going to be leaving my apartment like probably this week. So hopefully my new apartment is like um obviously it's kind of better than this, but hopefully everything goes well. I mean, there's this saying that I love a lot: trust but verify. Like if you have to plan something, you have to like cross all your T's and dot all your I's and make sure that everything like goes according to the plan. So yeah, I've been on like a 2 week hiatus. I've not been able to like have the time or have the like peace of mind to be able to calm down enough to think of, or to be able to calm down enough to like make to do an episode, because I've been so busy running around looking for new apartment, looking like just checking around for new apartments, doing everything I can to like make everything like work out perfectly fine. So that's why I've not like uploaded for like, or I've not done any episode for like 2 weeks now. So that's why I said bear with me. But I am back, and there's so much that has happened. It's like like it's just been 2 weeks, right? But so much has happened in that very short amount of time. Like I don't even know where I'm supposed to start from now. Like I don't even know what I'm supposed where I'm supposed to start from with all the drama that has been happening on planet Earth since the last time I made an episode. So I think the first thing I can remember, that the first one of the first most significant things I can remember that happened within like from the last time I uploaded to today that I'm making this video is like, what is the name of the fucking Wagner, the head of Wagner, the head of the Wagner group, like the Russian mercenaries now that the Russian mercenaries that I don't even know if they are owned by Putin, but the person that controls them, what is that his name? Prigozhin. And the guy that was like, I don't know, man. This guy was like trying to do. He was just trying to like claim or form like he's higher than Putin, or he's like he knows like he has more power than Putin. Was sorry, the guy that almost took over, or should I say, the guy that almost overthrew Putin. Is that even what happened? Let's just say the guy that was majoring. You understand? Like he was majoring back then. That was like about a was that a month ago? I don't know, maybe 2 months ago or something like that. And then there's this video I saw one time of Putin where they asked him what he can never forgive, and he was talking about he can never forgive betrayal. And so this guy kind of betrayed him, and it all seemed as though Putin was silent about the matter. And then all of a sudden, like sometime 2 weeks ago, or like yeah, 2 weeks ago, the guy was like, they bombed his they bombed his plane, bro. Man, and another thing again I want to talk about is like another thing I feel like has happened is that I don't think he's, because I've seen pictures of him under various or like multiple disguises, right? So I don't think he's actually dead or anything. Like I don't think, but obviously life is reality is stranger than fiction, right? This is not like a movie where there's going to be like a big reveal and it's going to turn out that he was not, he was not on that plane after all. You know how, no, see, I'm kind of rusty right now. I've not done this for like 2 weeks, and also I've not had any drink, or you know how I was talking like I don't know, like 2 episodes or 3 episodes ago, where I said I was going to like give up alcohol till the end of the year. And also there's this video I saw of Andrew Huberman. Everybody knows who he is now on YouTube, where he was talking about extreme, as in the dangers of alcohol, and the way he was putting it and the way he was talking about how extremely dangerous alcohol, even like a sip of alcohol, the amount of damage it does to the body, the amount of like inconvenience it does for the body, the amount of like fucked up things it does to the body. It's like, bro, why are you spoiling alcohol for everybody? It's like, I understand that yes, you're this very highly intelligent, highly informed, highly educated, if is it psychologist or something? I don't know. Is he a psychologist? Is Andrew Huberman the psychologist? I don't know, but he's this very highly intelligent, influential person that knows a lot about a lot of things, right? And so I understand that most the things that he talks about, everybody knows that alcohol is bad for you. Yes, obviously we know that, but it's the things that are bad for you, man. It's the things that are bad for you that are the most sweetest things, that are the most difficult to give up. It's like that's just the same thing with life in general. That is just the same thing with life in general. It is the things that are the least beneficial to humanity, to human beings, the things that cause the most harm, the things that cause the most discomfort, the things that in the long run, if I might add, the things that cause so much sadness at the end. Those are the things and the things that are meaningless, that are mostly meaningless. Those are the things that we revere the most. Those are the things that we enjoy doing the most. Those are just the reason why we tend to like enjoy those things, or the reason why we tend to indulge in all in all these things, it's just for the short-term gratification. And also, okay, let me give you an example. Like I said, I was going to like give up alcohol and give up eating processed food, which is very easy for me to do, obviously, because it's something I'm already used to, right? And I said I was going to like give up all of those things. I'm not going to do those things again, at least to the end of the year. And I'm going to be working out. I just want to like try to leave this, try to like how will I put it now? Upgrade my whole I'm trying to upgrade my lifestyle. I already live a very healthy lifestyle. So but I'm trying to like turn it up a notch. You understand? Like I'm trying to like go trying to even live a healthier lifestyle. So I don't do any of those processed meals of processed foods. Like I don't drink Coca-Cola or any of those soft drinks or carbonated water or any of those stuff. I don't eat like chips, or like nothing I eat comes in a bag, or nothing I eat comes in like fucking bottle, or I don't know, plastic content. Another thing again I'm trying to give up is like using plastic. So all throughout today, all throughout this morning, I've been thinking of how I can give up, how I can like change or give up, like throw away all the plastic that's um that are in my life. You know, like plastic is this very um accessible tool, very accessible tool that we humans. It's like it's everywhere. It's literally everywhere. There's not. There are so many things that as in there are so many things that makes plastic essential for. It's first of all, it's durable. Secondly, it's accessible, it's easy, it's cheap, it's everywhere. You understand? It's convenient. But at the end of the day, it's dangerous. Like I don't know the entire science about it, but I know that plastic is dangerous. And if you listen to Joe Rogan, if you listen to all of these like very influential, intelligent people that talk about this stuff, like there's this stuff I've heard that in a year we consume a credit card worth of plastic, which is kind of dangerous and scary if you think if it's true actually, that we consume, like everybody consumes like a credit card. Just imagine a credit card, like we consume a credit card worth of plastic every year. That's kind of scary, and we all know that as in it's scary to think that that is the amount of plastic that we consume every day. First of all, like if you think of it, it's, I don't know, man. What the fuck is that? Is that even actually really true that we consume a credit card worth of plastic every year, bruh? So I'm trying to like cut down my use of plastic because I know how dangerous it can be. I use plastic bottles for drinking water. I use plastic to store my food. I use plastic for what else? Mostly for edible uses. Should I say intentions or uses, whatever. So I'm trying to cut that down. Um, I want to like get like a glass bottle for storing water, and glass bowls actually for storing food, and that's basically all I use plastic for. But yeah, that's that about that. Yeah. So but the point I was trying to make earlier is that I bought like chocolates, and then I had like, I don't know, I bought this cheap I found this cheap chocolate, and I was just craving chocolates one time, and I was like, okay, let me just try it out and indulge myself a bit. And after eating it, I was like, okay, while I was eating it, yes, I was enjoying it obviously, but after eating it, I felt like dog shit. And it's just all about that. Although I had that instant gratification at the moment while I was eating it, after that, I just felt like dog shit. I don't know if anybody has experienced it before, where if anybody has experienced um where if anybody has this experience where where you feel like there's something that you want to do instantly, you want to do it immediately, because I don't know, you just have this urge, this like overwhelming urge to do it, and then after doing it, you have this guilt, this overwhelming guilt. That's in the same amount of the same amount of overwhelming urge you had to want to do whatever it is that you had the urge to do. You have you have the same amount of overwhelming guilt after you've done it, and you don't feel so good about yourself for doing it. It's like, why did I do that shit? Like, why did I have that chocolate? Like, I just felt so, I don't know, uncomfortable with myself. I just felt so cross with myself that I wouldn't have done this thing. So the whole thing, the point I'm trying to make is that instant gratification is, as an instant gratification is like, it's not worth it. Do you understand? Like, it's better to like have this kind of discipline where you understand and you recognize that, as long we have the mindset that instant gratification is not worth going after. Like, you don't have to like just indulge in whatever it is that you want to do at the moment just for that instant feeling of dopamine that you get. Do you understand? Like, as in, there's this saying that it's better to work now, it's better to suffer now and work later than to work now and then suffer later. What that means is that it's best to have self-restraint. You understand? It's best to be able to have self-discipline. I don't know if this my podcast is turning into, if the theme of my podcast is turning into self-help and talking about discipline and motivation all the time. That's not what I want to do, because I'm not even I'm not even that kind of person that is that disciplined to have enough to talk about how to or to I don't know if I'm the kind of person that is disciplined enough to know how to be disciplined and then teach other people how to be disciplined. I don't even think that that person is me, because me, I'm still learning. Like, it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy and fascinating that you tend to think that you know yourself, right? As in, I figured this out about myself, like let me say a week ago or something. I don't know, but it's fascinating to find out for yourself that you think that you know yourself so well, and you think that you know the things that you can, and you think that you know the things that you can and cannot do, and you're so well versed with yourself, and you're so sure of yourself, of the things that you think you can do and the things that you cannot do, and things that you can say and things that you cannot say, and your abilities and your shortcomings and your virtues and your vices. As in, it's kind of crazy that we all tend to think that we know ourselves that well, and then you're thrown into a new scenario, you're thrown into a new, as in, condition, you're thrown into a new environment, and you're surprised by your not even your ability, you're surprised by the things that you find out that you're doing. Like, I know I've talked about this before, not under this context. I know I've talked about how people tend to think that they are good people, right? People tend to call themselves good people. Like, people, you know how people always talk about how they say, I'm a good person, I cannot do this, I like to be kind to people, I like to be generous with people. And then you throw them into like a new kind of sneak pit, and you and then they show their true colors, right? But that's not what I'm talking about right now. Like, there's something that I cannot even remember what happened. I cannot even remember what happened, and I just found myself reacting to it differently and engaging with it and like communicating with it just entirely differently from how I thought that under a normal scenario, under a normal situation or normal circumstances, I would have like reacted in a way that I am already used to reacting. Yeah, enough of that rant. So, like I said before, there's a lot that has happened since the last episode that I dropped, and I cannot even actually remember whatever. I cannot even actually remember most of the things that have happened since then, because we live in a world right now where information does not stick. Do you understand? Um, Things that happen around us don't stick. Like they get like overlapped. They get replaced with other things. Like we are living in a world of we're living in a fast-paced world, right? Where things are happening constantly, and there's no there's no time to like slow down and react to and then take in whatever it is that is happening. So we don't have the time to like reflect. We don't have the time to like engage with whatever it is that is happening. We don't have the time to like, as in act, like I don't know. I'm spacing out on the right words to use right now. We don't have the time to actually ask what the fuck is going on. Like, how did that happen? Why did that happen? What the fuck does that mean? And how does this affect us? We just get slapped by the new stuff that is happening. We just get slapped by new things that are happening. We just get slapped by new fucking, just everything is just so fast paced and we don't have the time to, like, our brains have not developed to the point where we're able to react to things. We're able to keep up with the speed and with the rate at which things are just changing so fast. You understand? So that's why I feel like I'm not able to like remember most things that have happened over like these 2 weeks that these last 2 weeks that have passed. But the one that I feel like I think I can talk about right now, like I want to go through like a series of I want to go through like a series of topics that I feel like are interesting enough to like talk about and cover and just like give my opinions and my just my opinions about and just react to them in real time. Is the first one I want to talk about is like I just found out this life is not balanced. This life that we're living, that me and you are existing in, is not balanced. So I've come to the realization that to whoever is listening to this, I know I don't get like a lot of listeners. Like I was even surprised that like the previous episode I did had like 3 listeners, which I which I was one of them. So to those two people that listened to my previous episodes, I mean, thank you, I guess. But I don't know, I've talked about uploading on YouTube several times, but first of all, I don't have a camera and I don't like being on camera. Obviously, that is the second one. I don't like being on camera, and it's kind of difficult to like get gaming. As in, bro, the whole thing is just kind of complicated. But let's not go into that. So, one thing realized that was shocking and surprising to me is the rise of fake podcasts. Like people are so, I don't know, man. Why are we so fascinated with fame? It's like, why are we so fascinated? Why are we modern humans so fascinated and so enthralled? Is enthralled the right word? Enthralled with fame. It's like, why are we so drawn to it? It's like, why are we so drawn to this idea of fame, of being famous, of being known, of being influential, of being the person that is seen everywhere? It's like, I don't understand what is the incentive behind it? Like the fact that you're famous doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be happy or you're going to be healthy or you're going to be actually wealthy. You understand? Me now, I don't like to link fame, or I don't like to link success, or should I say, I don't like to link enormous wealth to success. Because yes, you can have a lot of money, you can be very famous, but you're not successful in my books. You understand? Somebody that might be quote unquote poor, but very happy and very healthy and very well read and educated, in my books, that person is very successful. Somebody that has somebody that has purpose, that person in my books is successful. But just because you're a very famous person, a lot of people know you, and you do a lot of dumb shit on the internet, and you're quote unquote successful and well known and quote unquote influential, doesn't necessarily mean that you're a successful person, or you're a happy person, or you're a healthy person. Because this whole thing about health doesn't just end with the physicality of it. You understand? Like being healthy also implies to, as in, being healthy also extends to the mind. Do you understand? Being healthy also it doesn't just stop at your body. It also extends to the mind. So people that are not up there mentally, I don't they're not healthy, basically. You understand? So, but my question I'm asking now is that the fact that we're so, let me not say we, let me not just say we, but the fact that people are so drawn, or I don't know, they're so in, people just want to be famous by any means necessary, and then they will do anything. They will do anything to be famous. They will do anything to be seen by others. They will do anything to be known. They will do anything to be heard. Yes, we live in a world now. Not every single person anyway, but and not every single country on this our planet. But for the most for the most part, we are living in a world where it is okay to have an opinion, and everybody in fact has the ability to air out their own opinion. Everybody has the ability to say whatever it is that they want to say. Yes, in some part of the world there will be consequences for saying whatever you have in mind. But yeah, I'm just talking about for the most part, right? Let's just stick to the Western world. Everybody has the ability to say whatever it is that they want to say. Everybody has that freedom of speech, right? But not everybody, just because everybody has that ability, or just because that freedom is available, doesn't mean that everybody has to take it. You understand? Just the same way that not everybody should be a parent. You understand? The same way that not every adult deserves a child, but every child deserves an adult. Do you understand? Not everybody should be a parent, but every child should have like parents. Do you understand? But that is the same way that not everybody should speak. You understand? Because people say a lot of dumb, like the way to know somebody is by listening to them over and over, and then from what you hear them say, you deduce the kind of person that they are. It's like when somebody, I mean, you get the point I'm trying to make, right? So I've come to the realization that there are things called fake podcasts. Sorry that I had to like say all of that dumb shit just to get to the point I'm trying to make right now. I've come to the realization that there are fake podcasts. People will get cameras and microphone, and then just for that short clip, like we have developed this very short attention span, and because of how much information that is available to us at any given time, people, because of how effortlessly accessible it is, with how you just scroll and scroll and scroll, with endless scrolling, basically that's what I'm trying to say, man. With endless scrolling, and how effortlessly accessible it is, and the quality, and how easily digestible it is, because like most things are just so cheap, and they cater to that instant gratification, where, and that instant dopamine effect, where, okay, yes, I understand this immediately, I understand this right now, I know what they're trying to say, I am up to speed with it. Like most of the things that when we are scrolling through Instagram, or for people that have TikTok, when they're scrolling through TikTok, most of the things that they come across are things that the algorithm have already learned that they are used to, and that they can digest and they can understand easily, and so those things are catered to them over and over and over and over and over. Bro, come on, we're living in a dystopian world, dude. Fuck, I know that in this whole idea of a dystopian future, like always when they paint the picture for us, well, when they paint the picture to us, it sounds like something out of like George Orwell's book, or something out of like a Ray Bradbury or Aldous Huxley book. But um I know that's the kind of picture that they always like tend to paint for us. But the kind of dystopian future that we're actually living in right now in the reality is one that is a lot more bleak and a lot more kind of frustrating and just senile and dangerous and evil and sleek and unassuming than whatever it is that Ray Bradbury or Aldous Huxley or George Orwell would have painted or would have come up with in their time. So, but and the reason for that is because most people don't even most people don't even realize, like, the whole thing has been set up in a way that most people welcome it, most people embrace it, most people even want it, most people even like long for it. Do you understand? Like, shit, nigga, do you understand that we are living in a fucking dystopian future where we don't even know that we're living in? It's like the best way to, you know how they say, um you know how there's this saying about boiling a frog in hot water. Like, the best way to do it is to put the frog in cold water, and then put the water in on fire, and but the frog will not know what is going on. You understand? As the water continues to like heat up and heat up and heat up, the frog will not understand that the frog will not understand that it's being boiled alive. That's the kind of situation that we're in right now, in the sense that we don't even know that we are being sent to the slaughterhouse. It's like we don't even know that we're like, there's this analogy that Joe Rogan made, like in the last episode of his podcast, where like we don't even know that we're in the midst of we're part of the herd of animals that are and we're in the middle, and everybody's like heading towards the cliff, and we're just following along, and we don't even know that we don't even know that we're heading towards the cliff. Do you understand? So that's the kind of dystopian future that we are in, where we have so much information that has been catered to us based on how much the algorithm has learnt about us. Like, I don't know if you can remember this scene in the movie Don't Look Up, like where the billionaire tech guru guy was telling um Leonardo DiCaprio, that is his name, right? So the billionaire tech guru guy was telling him that they know so much about him, that the algorithm knows so much about him, and they knows his wants, they knows his desires, they knows the things that he despises, they knows the things that he hates, the things that like they know everything about him. They even know, the algorithm has even predicted with a 98 point something percent accuracy how he's going to die. Bro, come on. That was when I was that movie. I understand that movie was like a very great. That movie was the best movie I saw. Was it in 2021 or so? I don't know when I watched that movie. But that movie was nice, and that movie was mad. But one of the things that scared me the most in that movie was what he said, that the algorithm, the how accurate the algorithm is at predicting people and predicting what people will do next. It's kind of scary that everything that isn't it disturbing, not even scary, isn't it disturbing, or isn't it interesting or like that, like everything we observe, like my question is everything that we observe just as in what the algorithm wants us to observe? It's like for example, now I always talk about my Instagram feed, right? My Instagram feed is mostly cars and guns and helicopters and food and occasional memes and superhero stuff and AI art and just creative stuff, right? And cars. Did I say cars? Yes, I said cars. And just normal 80-year-old 80-year-old kid stuff. Cars, helicopters, guns, movies, comic books, anime, stuff like that. Mostly that's what happens on my Instagram feed because of what the algorithm knows that I like, and so it shows me all those things over and over and over, right? And then sometimes it will just chip in like one of these Instagram fucking models that have unrealistic big butts that I don't even understand why I don't even understand how somebody can be comfortable with that. And I don't even understand another question I want to ask. I know I'm going to come back to what I want to talk about today. Now, another question I have that I have actually been thinking of is, and I know I'm not supposed to question I'm not supposed to question it because it's just biology and that's just how, and it is what it is, right? But if you think of it actually, like if you just sit down a little bit and just think of it and just like think of the details of it, you understand that it does not make any sense. The question I want to ask is this: if you're a man, if you're a straight man, and you're attracted to females, and you are obviously every straight man that is attracted to females have something in particular that entices him the most and attracts him the most, right? If you're the kind of person that you're into big NYASH, bro, God, if you're the kind of person that is into big NYASH, god damn, NYASH, if you're the kind of person that is into NYASH, obviously we know that big NYASH can account for small titties, but big titties cannot account for small NYASH. Do you understand? Like there is a proportion. I don't know why biologically that makes sense. That big NYASH can be responsible for small titties, but big titties cannot be responsible for small NYASH. Do you understand? I don't know why biologically that makes sense, but it just makes sense. But the question I want to ask now is that if you look at NYASH, right? If you look at NYASH, like for an unhealthy amount of time, just look at NYASH. I mean NYASH. Do you understand? Like NYASH. Just look at NYASH. It's just NYASH. Do you understand? It's just NYASH. It's just a pile of flesh and fat. Do you understand? Like it's just NYASH. Do you understand? But what makes NYASH NYASH? Like, why will I look at NYASH and like what makes NYASH enticing? That is the question I want to ask. Like, what makes NYASH? What makes you go wow? What makes someone go wow when they just see NYASH? Like, what is there? It's just flesh and fat. That's it. But why is that attractive to somebody? For some other people, it might be breasts. Do you understand? It might be titties. Like, why would somebody look at titties and forget themselves? Like, why would you look at titties and just lose your mind? Like, it will just fuck you up to the point where it has destroyed. Titties and NYASH have destroyed kings. They've destroyed empires. They've destroyed billion-dollar companies. Do you understand? They've destroyed powerful men, politicians, presidents, kings, empires, emperors. Do you understand? They've destroyed people. They've destroyed pastors. They've destroyed husbands. They've destroyed, bro. NYASH, this thing called NYASH, bro. NYASH has power. You think Putin has power? Nah, bruh, nah. NYASH is power. Do you understand? But the question I want to ask, but the question that I was just thinking, I was just looking at NYASH one day, and you know when you're in love with somebody, and when you're in love with somebody, right? We have been socially conditioned to believe that looking enticingly at someone else is cheating on the person that you're supposedly in love with. Do you understand? Like looking lustfully and enticingly and wantingly at someone else, or so another female. We've been socially conditioned to accept that is cheating on your own spouse. Do you understand? So I was kind of having this guilty feeling of, why am I looking at someone else's NYASH? Although this NYASH is glorious. Do you understand? But why am I looking at this NYASH? But then, and while I was having that guilt within me, and I just told myself that this is just NYASH. Do you understand? It is just NYASH. And that was when I now came to I just started asking myself this question, like, why am I attracted to like what makes a man attracted to that particular vicinity of fats and skin and flesh. Like, why are we not attracted to like the chin or like earlobes or fucking what else can somebody be attracted? I know there are people that have foot fetish, which is just, I don't know, man. Why? You see, we humans are weird. Why are we weird, man? Why are humans so fucking unnecessarily weird? So for the most part, yes, people are attracted to like NYASH, but the question I'm asking obviously is why? Like, what makes that particular part of the body so enticing and so fucking captivating and so makes somebody so unnecessarily horny all the time? I don't know, man. Where was I going with this? Like, occasionally, right? Occasionally, they'll just like chip in that fucking I don't know, evil NYASH. God, the algorithm will just deep in that just one drop of evil NYASH, and then if I click on it, the next thing is that it just flood my whole fucking for you page, which is just not. Then take away all the cars that I like, take away all the guns I like, take away all the like fucking aeroplanes and stuff, that all the fun things that I like, right? My whole fucking for you page will just be flooded with NYASH and flooded with buff women. I don't know, man. Why does the algorithm think that I like buff women, like women with muscle? I don't know. Is that I don't know. Like, now, right? I'm asking because I actually don't know. Like, I am asking because for real, I don't know. It just happens that the buff women do it for me, but what am I saying? I don't know. Maybe the algorithm has figured out that this is what I like. But on a more serious note, right? On a more serious note, the question I'm asking is like, is everything that we see and is everything that we perceive, like everything that is happening in the world right now that we perceive, just based on what the algorithm has learned or what the algorithm is like feeding us and like making us to see, and so that we can be able to just making us to see so that we can be able to react to? Like, is that what the algorithm wants us to react to? Are there people that their algorithm shows them happy things and gleeful things and like soft life things and things that are just like, surface level happy, goody two shoes, easygoing stuff, like and I'm sure that there are people that their algorithm also shows them like beheadings and accidents and fucking shootings, mass shootings, I don't know, street shootings, fights. So there was even one time that the algorithm was beginning to show me like bloody fights and people that are just dying and people that are just like, I don't know. That was where there was one time that I was really into all of that stuff, and then the algorithm was like, okay, you like this, I'm going to show you more of it. But I didn't want. It got to a point where, okay, like there was this news. I think that was like 2 weeks ago, where five students that went job searching in Mexico. It turned out that they were tricked by the cartel, and then they had to like kill themselves. They were like tied up and they had to like kill themselves, and the video was like really, really brutal. Like, I thought that I had outgrown my disgust, or should I say my fear of those things. Like, it got to a point when I started enjoying watching those videos of people who, like, there's this video I saw where a bus crushed somebody and then the person's head just like fell off. I've seen a lot of all those gory, gruesome videos. Like, there was a time when I was like really into all of that stuff. But after the video of those 5 guys killing, like the cartel, the Mexican cartel, like made them kill themselves gruesomely, I feel like that was it for me. You understand? I feel like I was like, why am I into this stuff? Like, I prefer watching videos of like I prefer watching, like, I don't know why, like, there are two sides of it for me. Like, I don't like seeing innocent people getting, like, I don't know, harmed, but on the other hand, I like seeing people getting fucked up. Do you understand? I like seeing people getting fucked up. Like there's this video I saw of I know I'm not supposed to like make fun of it. I don't know. Is there? I'm not supposed to make fun of it because it's obviously people that are getting fucked up, right? People that are getting fucked, people that are getting killed, people that are getting blown up. I've seen people like this. Like this is the first time this Russia and Ukraine war is the first time you get to like watch real life action war footage of people getting literally in every sense of the word fucked. Like there's this video where I saw there's this video of a Ukrainian soldier that was, or was it a Russian soldier that was like captured, and no, yeah, it was a Ukrainian soldier that was captured, and instead of him to give himself up, he blew himself up with a grenade, bruh. And that guy has balls, man. He blew himself up with a grenade. So, but yeah, so those are the kind of videos that, for some strange reason, I enjoy, and I just like seeing. I don't know. Should I say I like? I'm fascinated by it. I don't. Is enticed the right word? I'm just fascinated by all those kind of stuff, right? There's another one where the Russian soldiers were inside the house, and then the Ukrainian special forces were like shooting inside the house, and they burnt the house. Bro, it was kind of gruesome, but it is what it is. But to see innocent people get killed like that, and not even that they get killed, like they were told to kill themselves. It's like, nah, man, I cannot. That's just. So anyway, there was a time when those things were like creeping up into my For You page more and more, and I just like went back to incessantly and deliberately and militantly checking out cars, you understand, and guns, just so that my algorithm will be cleansed. So what point am I trying to make with this exactly? What point am I trying to make? I was talking about the fact that fake podcasts exist. It's like somebody would set up a camera and microphone and just like say things, and just to have that 60-second clip, just to have that 1 minute clip, just to have that viral clip that will potentially that clip that will potentially go viral, that 60-second clip that will potentially go viral, just to have that quick talking point, just to have that, to make that point. Do you understand? People have their things now that exist now. Fake podcasts exist where people just like say things, the most outrageous things, the most banal of things, the most fucked up things that they can see, or the most, like, I don't know, some of them might be interesting enough. So like it's like to the point where it's like, okay, why, what, I don't even know who this person is. I've never heard of this person before. This is literally, I know that there are 5 million podcasts today that exist today all over the world. 5 million people make podcasts today, or should I say not even 5 million, but there are 5 million podcasts that exist today. But and obviously it's impossible for me to know every single one of them, right? But the fact that there are fake podcasts just kind of surprises me. It's like, what else can we not, what else can we do just to like have that, just to have that feeling of fame, just to have that feeling of being seen? Like, what else can we not do? What else can we not come up with? Is that the right way to say it? Like, what else can we, like, there's so many things that there is no limit to the extent that we go to have fame, to be seen, to say whatever it is. And okay, like I was saying before, some of the things that they say in these are fake podcasts. Some of them are interesting, right? Some of them are captivating. Just to have that 60-second potential viral clip. Some of them are just outrageous. Some of them are absurd. Some of them are banal. Some of them are just weird. Some of them are outrageous. You know, some of them are clickbaity. Some of them are insulting. Some of them are demeaning. It's like, why are people doing this? It's crazy that there are fake podcasts. And when I realized that, I was like, really? Like, fake podcasts? Why? Why don't you just, like, if you have something interesting that you feel like you can say, right? Even if you're not eloquent enough to say it. Like, for example, I don't think that I am eloquent enough to like use nice words, use all those pretentious fucking intelligent, interestingly sounding words that like people like Jordan Peterson use. You understand? I don't think I'm that. Or secondly, I don't think that I know enough to say whatever it is that I want to say. But I like to think that I know just the right amount that I'm supposed to know, while at the same time trying to know more. Do you understand? Like, I have this principle that I like to know one thing about everything and everything about one thing, and I've not forgotten about that principle. Like, I keep enhancing myself every day. But wouldn't it be better to just do it, right? To just go for it than faking it. I know we live in this world right now. We live in a fake it till you make it kind of world, right? But you now, like, I always come back to the individual, right? I always come back to the person that is unable to sleep in the night and is awake and is reflecting and is just thinking about everything that has happened during the day, and is just thinking about their lives, and is just thinking about the future, and is just thinking about their place and their place currently in this present time in the universe. Like, I always come back to the individuals. Like, is that what you want your legacy to be? This fake, ingenious person that is not genuine. It's like, why can't you just try your best and do it? It's like, even though it's going to be difficult, we live in a very competitive world right now. Everybody is doing the same thing, and then you want to like do something else, and then you find out that lane is also filled up, and everybody is also doing that same thing, and then you hop onto something else you want to do, and then you find out that lane 2 is also filled up and everybody is doing it. Like, we live in a very hyper competitive world right now, where it is very difficult to come up with quite literally an original idea. In fact, original ideas no longer exist. Every idea that we have right now is one that in some way, in some shape, or in some form sprouted from some other idea. Do you understand? Like, every idea that exists is an idea that is the result of a previous idea. Do you understand? We're just looking. There is no there. It's almost impossible to like have an original idea, even to the point that there's this short movie I saw one time called, I cannot even remember the name, but it was on YouTube that I saw it, about somebody that had it's about somebody that had an original idea. The guy had an idea that was so original that the person that he told the idea to, literally, their head literally exploded. It's like, I love that. I love that. The name of the short movie is Original Idea, obviously. So I love it so much because it just shows how unique that story is. And actually, in the context of storytelling, that is actually a very good original idea in itself, right? An idea that you tell somebody, that even in the movie, like when he tells people the idea, they come to this like almost spiritual, almost cosmic revelation of how simple and how easy and how obvious this idea has always been, and it has always been staring them in the face. It's almost as if like there is some cosmic truth, and there is some cosmic appearance, like something that is so apparent, something that is so true, something that is so obvious, that has been staring us in the face for literally thousands of years, but just somehow we have not been able to give so much attention to it, or we have not been able to notice it enough to say, oh, this is the truth of why we're here, or oh, this is the truth of it all. Do you understand? So when this guy tells people like this original idea that he has, everybody just comes to this realization of how fucking simple and easy and obvious and apparent, and how true it is of this original idea that this guy has. And then their brain cannot handle it, and then their brain just explodes. Like, it happens to literally every single person that he tells. So what I'm trying to say is that everything that we're doing right now, like, there's no original idea. And if there is an original idea, I don't think that with how fast information is flowing these days, like, our brains can be able to handle any original idea. We just like I like to think that, you know how you think of something, right? This is crazy, and let me just tell you, how you think of something, right? And you think of something. this is what I think about ideas, and let me just explain it. You think of something like you have a fleeting idea comes to your mind, and you're like, maybe I'll write it down later. And then something else comes up and it makes you forget that idea that you have. And you're like, fuck. Maybe when you're by yourself and you're like, what was that thing I was thinking about that I cannot remember right now? And it bugs you and it eats you, and then you curse yourself, and then you're very, very angry with yourself for not writing it down. Right? It has happened to all of us at one point in time or another. It has happened to me. And there was one time I was thinking of this. I was like, ideas, where did they come from? Like, where do ideas come from? I know that there was one time I was smoking, right? I've told this story before. There was one time I was smoking, and I was so fucking high, man. Fuck. I was so high, and then I slept, and then I dreamt that I was in a library, but not like the library that's in the dream. It's like I was in space, like let's just call it space, but like a space library, and there were these giant books. Like these books were bigger than planets. Like the books were so giant and so fucking big. But they're not books in the sense of the way we understand books to be, like the way we recognize books to be in this our reality. But in my dream, in that dream, like the way I saw them, I saw what I understood. Let me say, whatever cosmic being that was like teaching me or that was showing me all of those things, just the best way I could understand it was that those things were books, right? And so those books were filled with literally every single idea that any human being ever, both past, both present, both future, has come up with and will ever come up with, right? That's those books were filled with every single idea that human beings can ever come up with. Like on those ideas were unquantifiable. Like just think of sand, right? You cannot count sand. So that's how much that's the amount of ideas that were in those books. And those books were like, and that library, that's in the library is as big as the universe, and those books were like as big as planets, and the ideas in those books were like endless. You understand? You cannot count them. Like even bad ideas, even good ideas, even beneficial ideas, even like every single idea. So the question I was asking myself, like, where I know I've asked that question and I've had that dream. No, sorry, what I'm trying to say is that I've had that dream about where ideas come from, right? And in that dream, I kind of came to the realization that that must be where ideas come from. This cosmic library that ideas are taken from and then just flung into our planet, and whoever it lands on gets the idea to change humanity in some way. But that's just one version of where I think ideas come from, right? So I was not thinking, like, you know how organisms exist. Like we have viruses, we have bacteria, we have fungi, we have like insects, we have like fucking planktons, we have fucking arachnids, we have animals, we have mushrooms, we have trees, grasses, we have humans, we have fish, we have fruits, we have nuts, we have roots, we have like flowers and all of those stuff. There's life, right? There's life on our planet. And there are animals and there are organisms that can survive under extreme temperatures. Like there are organisms that can survive in -0 temperatures and plus 1000 degrees temperatures, right? So isn't it kind of plausible, and isn't it also, possible that ideas are also organisms that exist in a different kind of plane, right? I had this idea, like I had this thought in my mind, right? And then I was listening to one of Joe Rogan's episode, and then he came up with the same fucking thing. He said he was like, ideas are, he was talking about how ideas can be organisms that live in like a different frequency, and then they just like infect us. Do you understand? Like a mosquito bites or something, like they infect us and then we are sick, and then the sickness is just the idea that sprouts in our minds, and then the product of the consequence of that sickness is what we do with the ideas that we have in our mind. Like somebody has an idea of making like a glass fan for some strange reason. It's just that this bug that is actually in reality, or should I say this idea that is actually in reality a bug that exists in a different frequency, bites you, or should I say infects your brain, and then and then what happens to you is that it makes you do things that nobody else has ever done. And for the most part, sometimes those things are beneficial to human beings and beneficial to you, and some other times those things are kind of like dangerous and not beneficial. Like some ideas can make people do to scam. I don't know. Some ideas can make people steal. Some ideas can make people to be inhumane. While some ideas can make people to be very productive and very creative and very um positively influential. So yeah, that was just, I was kind of surprised when he said it, because that's the same idea I had in my mind, and I was like, oh, so um it and it kind of confirmed what I was saying, because it doesn't actually only affect one like you can have an idea, like you can have, like, based on what I was saying before, right? When you have an idea and then you don't like write it down, and then that idea leaves you, it hops on another person that thinks. It's like when you have ideas, or when you're infected with this bug, right? And you don't carry, and you don't, and let me say you have an immune system that makes you stupid enough. An immune system, I don't know how to put it, man. An immune system that makes you so stupid that your the immune system, your stupidity makes you not to like carry out that idea, or should I say your immune system dissolves the bug, the effects of the bug in your brain, and then makes you forget. That bug is going to like leave your brain and then hop on somebody else and then infect that person. And that person is, if that person's immune system, if that person does not have a strong stupidity if that person does not have a strong strong stupidity immune system, it's going to make the person build that glass fan, or it's going to make the person build that hydrogen car, or it's going to make the person build that, I don't know, laser fucking robot dog or whatever. I don't know, whatever. Ideas are weird. So because so it was just kind of crazy that because I did not say it, like this stuff that I had in my mind that I did not say, maybe it left my mind and then entered Joe Rogan's mind. I don't know if what I'm saying makes any sense, but that's probably what must have happened. But I am most likely wrong. So it's crazy that people have fake podcasts, right? It's just kind of weird that you're not going to do the thing. Just go ahead and just do it. Do you understand? Instead of having yourself a fucking fake podcast, just go ahead and do it, regardless of the outcome. Just do it just do it so that it would be that you actually did it, right? Yeah, it's kind of crazy. On that note, I know I've been talking for like how long now? I don't know. But on that note, to talk about the last thing I want to talk about today is I feel like music is coming back. Like good music is making a comeback, right? Because I've been listening to Zach Bryan's new album. Like there's this new country musician that is making waves. His name is Zach Bryan, and I've been listening to like his new album, and it's like it makes so much sense. Like the every single song. Imagine every single song in an album, like just hits after hits after hits. And I just like the fact that, I don't know, maybe it's just based on the kind of song that I'm into these days, and or my taste in music or whatever, but or maybe because of the fact that I don't give attention to like things that don't elevate my spirit, or should I say that don't enrich my spirit, or enrich and enlarge my soul. Probably that might be it, but I just feel like good music is coming back. Like for example, now like there's this song now that has been making wave. What is this guy's name? Oliver Anthony. Rich Men Not of Richmond, right? And the reason why that song makes so much sense is because it's like he just said, because of how, first of all, because of how simple the song is. Like, you don't need to be fucking extravagant. And do you know what one thing I've noticed in with content creation these days is like, you don't need to go all out. If you have a message, right? If you have something important that you think is worth listening to, and you think people you think people you think will resonate with people, you think people will relate to, you think people will like to like be impactful, right? If you have something important that you want to say, just say it. We have this ability now, we have this opportunity, we have this what is it called now, we have this freedom of expression, where we have the technology to like express ourselves in whatever way that we want to express ourselves in, and we can do it however we want to do it. But simplicity is always the best, right? Simplicity is always the key. Just if you have something that you want to say that is important, that you want people to hear, just say it the best way that, well, anyway, yeah, what I'm saying is that just say it the best way you want to say it. Whether you want to say it in a simple way, or whether you want to be so extravagant about it, or whether you want to be so, unnecessarily complicated about it, just say it. You understand? If it's going to resonate with people, if it's going to people are going to find it relatable, then good for you. So this song now, Rich Men Not of Richmond, that has been on everybody's mind for a very long time, but I feel like people have not been able to see that this guy just said it in music form, and then he has been blowing up for like how many weeks now. It's just kind of crazy, because he was, there's one of the verses in the song, he was talking about how politicians should care about the minors and not the minors. Like, the way he said the way he said it is like kind of like a wordplay. Like, politicians should care about the miners, and he meant people that work in coal mines and stuff like that. And politicians shouldn't only care about miners. And what he meant was like minors, like fucking children, right? Like Jeffrey Epstein Island, stuff like that. And another question I want to ask before I end this episode is, when he said that, right, it just kind of took me back to when they arrested Jeffrey Epstein, and then when they arrested that other lady. What is that name? I don't know her name. So they arrested her for, like, being involved with all of that bullshit, right? All of that dumb shit, right? And yeah, a crime was committed. Jeffrey Epstein committed the crime. The woman apparently, supposedly, also committed the crime, right? But against what? Like, against who? Like, who are you? Arrested somebody, so, and then there was supposedly a list or something like that. Who are the people on the list? Like, who are the politicians? Who are the presidents? Who are the governors? Who are the people that are on the list? Like, what? It doesn't make any sense, right? It just doesn't make any sense that you arrest somebody for a crime, and then you don't show us like the other perpetrators of the crime. Just doesn't make any sense. So that guy that was saying that guy, what is that his name? Oliver Anthony, that sang that song. It's like, that is just a very beautiful song, and I just like the fact that I'm existing in a very there's this Chinese insult, and for the love of me, I don't understand why it's a Chinese insult, because it's like, why is that an insult? Why is that an insult? The insult is, may you live in interesting times. Wow, okay, yeah. I mean, who wouldn't want to live in interesting times, right? Like, I don't understand why that is supposed to be an insult. Like, who wouldn't want to live in interesting times? Like, we're living in one of the most interesting times ever in human history, and like, there's so much that is going on. There's so much that is changing. There's so many new things that we're experiencing right now. There's just so much to learn. There's just so much to know. There's just so much to see. there's just so much to come in contact with, to relate to react to. Is that, and it's fascinating, it's incredible, it's crazy, it's the greatest story that has ever been told. And so for someone to say may you live in interesting time, may you live in interesting times as an insult, it's like, wait, where does that, okay, may you live in interesting times is widely reported as being of ancient Chinese origin, but it's neither Chinese nor ancient. Oh, okay. But recent and western. Oh, okay. So it's it's an expression where the speaker ironically wishes an interesting time to whomever he's speaking to. In reality, he or she wishes the person to live during times of uncertainty and disorder, as opposed to peace and tranquility. That makes a considerable amount of sense. So, anyway, may you live in interesting times, and I mean, there couldn't be a more interesting time as the time that we are currently existing in right now. That's that about that for today. I am glad that summer is coming to an end for this year, man. It's like I'm glad that just like we're getting out of summer, like we're going back to thick jackets and giant boots, and which is like I just prefer anything that is not summer. Like I don't like, maybe before, like maybe like 5,000 years ago. So I always wonder how people in the past used to I always wonder how people in the past used to like survive the summer heat. But I don't think that I'm not a climate expert. I don't know much about climate change, but the much I know and the much that I've heard about and I've read about and the much that has been fed to me by the almighty algorithm, I don't think that humans have had as much effect on the planet as people tend to think that we have. It's like, yes, climate change is an issue, but it's not that big of an issue because we are more, conscientious. We are more careful this time around about waste, about the products that we use, about plastic, about oil, about just how we interact with our environments. At least I like to think that we are, but at the same time, we cannot deny that we are causing so much harm on the planet. We cannot deny that we have we cannot deny that we have an impact on climate change. Do you understand? But I don't think that I don't think that the way everywhere is as hot as it is right now is how it must have been, like, I don't know, 500 years ago, when there was not as much when there was not as much industrial and technological, fucking shit going on back then as it is right now. So maybe 500 years ago, maybe 1,000 years ago, summer was not as hot as it currently is right now, as it currently is today. So, but I'm thankful that we have the technology to counteract that. We have ACs, we have fans, we have all of that stuff. Even though they too have their own shortcomings, because when you're using so much AC, it burns so much, like there's a strain on the electrical grid, and then also the output of the air conditioner also heats the outside environments, causing I don't know, man. It's like it has this crazy loopy effect. So yeah, that's basically everything that I feel like I can remember enough that has happened. That is basically everything I feel that I can remember that has happened this past 2 weeks. And that's that about that. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else I can add to that. Other than the fact that I am thankful that we're getting out of summer, and I prefer anything. I prefer any other season that isn't extreme heat. I don't like it at all, at all. So yeah, thank you for chilling with me. Thank you for giving me your listening ears as always. I don't know why I'm always hesitant. I'm okay. Another one of the reasons I feel like I think I was kind of I didn't like release an episode like I haven't released I haven't released an episode for 2 weeks now, bro. It's difficult for me to talk. Is that I'm always hesitant, like starting an episode. Like I always have this fear, and I know I recognize that as resistance. Like I've talked about this book, The War of Arts, right? Where the writer talks about resistance, this stuff that keeps us from doing whatever, keeps us from doing the things that we are rightfully supposed to do. But and I'm always very hesitant about starting a podcast. Like I have this fear. I have this like, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. But then when I do it, I always enjoy the fact that I've done it. When I do it, I always, while I'm doing it, I always enjoy doing it. Right? Like it's fun. I don't know. I like it. I like doing it, but I have this fear of starting to do it. Maybe I hope I get over that fear. This is like the 36th episode, and I'm still kind of like, there's still that fear. And I know in the world of podcasting, like I've not even started. Like this is just merely 36 episodes in, and I've not even started. There are people with like hundreds of episodes. There are people with like for example, now Joe Rogan has like 2,200 and 2,023 episodes, 2,024 episodes, stuff like that. So like I've not even started, and I don't want to say it's all about the numbers. Like I just don't want to be doing it because I want to like pump up those numbers. I want to do it because I have something meaningful to say. I want to do it because I have something like I want to talk about, that I just want to express myself. Do you understand? So I like making podcasts. You understand? Like I like doing it. Like I enjoy doing it. But it's just that I have this weird, odd fear of actually starting an episode, because I have this like kind of fucked up thing in my mind, like what am I going to say? Do you understand? I don't know why that just happens to me, but it's weird, man. And I'm thankful that I'm overcoming it gradually. So yeah, thank you for chilling with me. Thank you for like giving me your listening ears as always. Follow me on Twitter. I'm still not calling it X because it's not X. Follow me on Twitter at General Prime One. Send me an email if you want to like work with me. I'm still like open to networking and like linking with people at General Prime One. What's General Prime 14? Sorry, what did I just forget my own email? What the fuck? So send me an email at generalprime14@gmail.com. I'm actually going to leave everything in the description. And yeah, so I'll talk to you guys later. All right, bye everybody.